What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark, MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're celebrating a white Christmas. Were you dreaming of it? I was dreaming of it. So this is White Christmas. It is turning 70 this year. This movie was released in 1954. Um, so 70 years of White Christmas, and that iconic I'm dreaming. It sounds great. Listening to Bing sing White Christmas in this. It's just like that. That's worth the movie alone. If you've never heard Bing Crosby sing White Christmas before, I don't know where you've been. Um, Sort of like watching. I also reviewed this year Meet Me in St. Louis with Judy Garland, um, and her rendition "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." Just uh, Is that they like make the movies like there's like a whole movie that's shaped around one song, and they're great. Um, so uh, I dove into this because there was actually I thought it was funny because um, I saw somebody in an audio description board who was posting about negative experience they had going to the theaters because Fathom Events was re-releasing White Christmas for the season, and they don't run audio description. So they went to a Fathom event of White Christmas, and there was no audio description, but they had seen the movie before, and they've heard the audio description track. And I thought it was an excellent time to bring that up and be like, well, Fathom is obviously trying to do something with this. And apparently Fathom doesn't know there's an audio description track. So I decided let's talk about that. There's an Hi Fathom, there's an audio description track for this movie. I don't know if you know that or not, but it exists. So if you could please, when you do your events, start using audio description, that'd be great. I know there's like the excuse that because they do these live events, right? So they're pumping in their content live. I don't like making excuses for reasons why we can't have accessibility that are that don't involve that are like um it would take too much time, or oh well, we have to spend the money, or do you know what I'm saying? Like those are not the things that I like to give. um and if I'm denied accessibility, it better be because somebody's going to die. Why can't you drive a car? Well, uh we're not there yet, sir. We were working on self-driving cars, and we've got some systems in place, and maybe in the future you'll be able to own a self-driving car. And but we're not there yet to be able to have you drive a vehicle. We've got backup cameras and everything, and maybe in the future, but right now the answer is because someone would die, and I accept that. Why can't I fly? Because somebody would die. That's why I can't fly planes. So aside from that, um, well, I mean, I suppose I could fly it and keep it in the air, but because what are you going to crash into once you're at cruising altitude? um, but somebody would have to take over for the landing, I think. Uh, so I would want somebody, even if they let me, I'd be like, listen, I don't want to die in the crash. But that's not true here. There's the reason that Fathom is doing it is just because they don't want to spend the money on it. However, I'm reading that Fathom is having they've like never been more popular, and they're making more money, and their company is continuously evolving. So, hello, welcome to Accessibility. You should have it because I watched this at home. I didn't go to a Fathom event, but I did watch White Christmas. And interestingly, this is my first time watching the movie, but not watching White Christmas. And you're going to ask me, how is that possible? There's a musical. There's a White Christmas musical that they turned into a stage show. So that's how I've seen White Christmas. So yeah, the Rosemary Clooney, um, uh, Bing Crosby White Christmas. This is new to me. Obviously, I've heard the songs before. Not all of them. There were some songs in here. The minstrel show song gave me pause. I was like, I think they left that out of the stage show. I don't think that's in there. Um, so there's some things that like in 1954 were still sort of like 1954 kosher. I'm not entirely sure that the minstrel show song works 70 years later. Um, Arguably, probably didn't work in 1954. It's just nobody cared. Uh, yeah, but otherwise, it's an interesting little holiday movie that's not profoundly about Christmas. It's not steeped in Christmas, and Santa doesn't come down, and there's not like a ton of Jesus in this movie. You know, it's not like steeped in like the Christianity of Christmas. It just happens to take place at Christmas time, and it's featuring. It's very pro military. Our two male leads are both former soldiers who try to put together this event for their uh, former general, and they're trying to like do it in secret. And these girls sort of like misunderstand the situation, and then also like they, of course, it's like the leads are two guys and two girls, so it's also a rom com, it's a holiday romantic comedy, and they sing and dance their way through, and um, it doesn't it doesn't have its typical musical feel to it where people burst out into song as if they were talking. It has they're actually like performing because they're putting together a show. So like a lot of the song and dance stuff is organically put into the musical that way. Stage show's a little bit different. Um, and like I really love Snow, which is they do a little bit more of in the stage show than here. Although like for like the hot second that it's there, I was like, oh, there it is. Oh, it's okay. Um, but yeah, it's a cute movie, and it's got a great cast, and I think they did a really nice job with it. Um, I she's not like a like I know she wasn't like a huge character, but I really wanted to. There was a line in there that I laughed at where it has one of those things. Everything was sort of like sitcomish, like very situational comedy based. And there's a scene where they're calling to try to set this up and to go on. Clearly, like they wanted to say Ed Sullivan, but they can't say Ed Sullivan for some reason. So it's like Ed Harrison or somebody like that. So it's really close. And there, this one woman listens on the phone, and she's like, well, this is what I heard. And she's like, well, if I'm wrong, then I have to give up my membership in the busybodies of the whatever. And I was like, well, I guess she has to give up her membership. Did anybody go back and get her card and make sure she she resigned from the busybody organization? Um, I just that's not a word we use that much anymore. I love busybodies. It's such a great term. Can we revive that? Make that happen. Like let's bring it back. All the people who made on Fleek happen. Let's bring back busybodies. Whatever you did to make Fleek a word. Um, let's get busybodies going. So yeah, this is this was fun. I enjoyed watching this, and Bing Crosby can sing, and actually the whole cast can sing. Danny Kaye has a really nice voice too. So, and of course Rosemary. Um, but yeah, this is my first time 70 years. I finally watched White Christmas as a movie, not just as the stage show. It's weird how sometimes you see things, and yeah, I went about it the backwards way. Most people, you're probably just now finding out, wait a minute, they did a stage show. Yes, it's not that obscure, but yes, there's a stage show to White Christmas. Anyway, um so check out the movie, because Fathom Events is really your only hope to see it in theaters, so you're gonna have to watch it at home with audio description. Anyway, we got to get Fathom to get audio description. Thanks for watching. I'm going to give White Christmas an A minus. It's not quite a holiday classic for me, but I did enjoy it. It's maybe a little, if you're like, oh, but it's the classic, why is it not an A? It's a little pro, a little just a little too much feels like a recruitment tool at times, almost. Um, and also, I could have used it tied a little bit more to Christmas. It feels like it's tied more to the military than it is actually to Christmas at times. Like, this is more like a, recruitment tool than it is like a celebration of the holiday. So, um, anyway, but yeah, it's fine. It's like 2 hours. It was an easy watch. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.